Dr. Shell here. I'm going to be talking today a little tutorial on how to build a Lego habitat. So these habitats are small builds that are linked together because they're built on a similar floor plan so that each person can build their own and then you can snap them together. Or if you wanted to make them with a particular theme, you could make multiples of your own. So it's a pretty simple construction. Notice that it's on an 8x8 plate, and then it's 8 bricks high on 2 sides, but they have a particular way that they have to be designed, offset, so that they will then in turn snap together. So each person builds their individual set the way they like, and then you're able to put them all together. We're going to be doing that today in this tutorial on Lego habitats. So I like to think of these little habitats as sort of little mini scenes where your minifigs can work, play, and live. And so we design them, and you don't have much room, so you've got to be really, really compact and really creative to really try to capture the essence of that space and share with other people what it is you're trying to do. So they're all built on this basic little floor plan. It's an 8x8 sort of cube that's cut open in the front part, so you can always make sure that they snap together as a unit, and so you can do lots of them yourself. And we're going to try to see about doing a project where we can do many people contributing their own ideas and putting them all together. So the basic layout is that you need 37 pieces. We're going to walk you through what they are, and they don't have to be the same color. And of course, you could use different configurations. I'm just picking these out because they're pretty standard, and you can see how I've laid them out. And then from there, you can use whatever you have available and improvise at will. So probably the most important piece is this 8x8 plate. That's where you've got to start, and that ensures that they will all snap together, they'll all fit in the right way. So an 8x8 plate is where you've got to start. And next up, you need 24 1x4 blocks. Legos are named by the shape, the number of studs, and then how wide they are. So a 1x4 is one stud length wide and has 4 in a row. And so here you see we need 24 of them. I'm using 2 different colors so that you can distinguish them when I lay them out together. But you could use any number of colors, or you could use all the same colors. And next up, you're going to need 8 1x3 blocks. Again, any color it works. I'm going to show them in red here just so you can see them as they are laid in the build itself. And last but not least, you need 4 1x2 blocks, and that will complete the setup. I'm going to show that whole list again, and you can pause it if you need to rustle them up, and then we'll work on the build. So in order to make these work, in order that they can snap together, it's really important that you notice the offsets. So to begin with, on the left-hand side, you're going to have the bricks hang over by 1 stud. So the first 4 rows on the left are hanging over by 1 stud. But on the right, they're even with the base plate, the 8x8 base plate. Then after 4 rows, you're going to shift it over so that you're going to start on the left. It will be even with the base plate. So you're coming in 1 stud, you're even with the base plate. When you come around on the right-hand side, now that side is hanging over by 1 stud for another 4 rows. And those 4-row offsets allow them to snap together, and you can make a row, you can make a pyramid, you can do lots of awesome things. So that's the importance of that offset, and make sure that you start hanging off on the left, even on the right, then you shift over, and then at the final 4 rows, you're hanging over on the right-hand side. So here are a couple of little builds that I made. These are all little factories, and you can see they all follow the same basic pattern, although they're all very different in what you see in the scenes. But now as I'm going to zoom in, you'll be able to see how those offset pieces are going to line up, and that's going to allow them to hook together. And so I took those 3, and you can also not only link them side to side, but you can also stack them one on top of the other. So you can see how that works out like this. And then if you're so inclined, you can put whole sets of them together. This is a build that I made. Everybody in my family is either a teacher or a student. And so I put together a back-to-school build scene. And my son is in the military, so he is at basic training, so he's in school too. So everybody in the family is in school. That's the first day of school. Build made out of 10 habitats. All right, one really cool way to up your game in terms of your Lego builds is the use of what are called snot bricks. Snot brick means studs not on top. So these are a variety of bricks that have studs usually on the top or the bottom, and then they have them on the side. And that allows you to stick things to a flat wall. So rather than just building straight up flat walls, you can include some snot bricks, and that's going to let you sort of be a little more creative and bring some life to your scene. So just here's a closer look at a couple of those builds, the factory builds, where you can see where I've used snot bricks to allow me to put all kinds of interesting and creative things on the walls. Here's a laboratory that I made. As you can see, I literally covered every wall surface with something creative that was snapped onto a snot brick. All right, well, that's about all there is to it, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with. I'm happy to have you post those so I can take a look at them and share them with other people. And this is Dr. Shell, and I'm sauntering on.